Hi, I'm Sam Johnson and I'm a voice teacher. I'm going to be reacting to and analyzing 6 hardest vocals singers can't and don't sing anymore live. Sing down really well at the top. That wasn't easy for her right there. It looked like she was trying pretty hard for it. Sounded great. Yeah, I would agree with that. That was some better technique, actually. You could hear from when she started again and again and again. She went to I, like the word it, versus again and again and again. That helped her find a narrower, more pointed vowel at the beginning. And then when she went up to the high note, she was already thin because of that nice vowel choice. She was a little hoarse, more hoarse in this one than in the first one, but I think she sang this one better. I think she could have gone to the G and been fine. Yeah. She just sounds a little hoarse. It's interesting because her technique is better, and I know that she's working with really good teachers. I feel like these might be kind of cherry-picked. I'm sure she can still sing that. Yeah, she was just having an off day. Everyone has them. Like, really, I agree. She just sounds tired with this, but I think that she's singing well.
It's my house, I can love who we want to. It's my song, I can sing it we want to. It's my mouth, I can say what I want to. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Okay, this is the second time I've heard this clip. It sounds a little bit flat on the top. She's pulling up a lot of weight. I think that if she just didn't try as hard to get to those high notes, they would have an easier time to get to those high notes. I mean, she was able to do it, but... She sounds fine, but that wasn't, like, exceptional. That went up to a B. She did it fine. She changed it completely. She lowered it by a sixth. That stuff that she was doing at the end, she didn't do. I think that she could. I'm confused by that. I don't know what point they're trying to promote. So the high note was connected, and then, I mean, I guess it was a transition. It's a brisk transition. She flipped. She let go of the amount of resistance that she had and let more air through. Because of that, the volume went down, and it turned into a breathier sound. So she flipped into falsetto at that point. But because of how controlled it was a choice. Sometimes flipping refers to when we uncontrollably have to disconnect as you're going up to higher notes. She obviously doesn't have to do that, and she's using it for effect. Nice. Let's talk about why she was able to make that note so long. She didn't start it breathy. She started which is kind of squeaky. It's a very forward sound. It's a very connected sound. And because of that, she's using very little air. It's a solid, continuous stream of air, but it's not very much. Not much is getting out. So she'll be able to hold that for a super long time. If she was siphoning air off in different ways, then she wouldn't be able to hold it out as long as she did. And then at the end, she still had enough in the tank that she was able to flip over and do a little run with the lighter, kind of flipped head voice falsetto-y sound. Maybe she didn't get enough of a tank. She started it well. She doesn't trust herself with it. She started going up to it and it wasn't thinning out. It was kind of pulling chest voice up. And because she started noticing that, she started changing things about her technique. Rather than going further in towards that higher connected whiny place that she was using before, she decided to just fall back because she didn't trust her technique. The feelings that she was getting were like, nope, this isn't right. And so she completely dodged it. She didn't have to. This one was mental. This one was completely mental. She went up there and she was killing it. Like, that sounds like she was just like, oh no, I'm sick of not singing well like I'm used to. I'm gonna go do this thing. Because sometimes people practice these really hard things so much more than they practice the easy things. The things that are low notes and whatever, because low notes are supposed to be easy. But she just proved high notes are actually a place where really good singers go to find what it feels like to sing well. It's generally easier to get some of these super high notes like she just did than some of the notes that are right below your bridge, because those are the ones that want to give, and if that doesn't give and you're in front of a really big crowd, you're gonna not trust it and you're gonna start protecting your technique, which is the opposite of what you should do. But then right here, she's like, oh no, I'm just gonna go for it, and it's killer. I bet that as she continues, it continues to be killer because that's a mind shift. And it was! Who would have thought? And now she's back. Oh, girl. The same thing is kind of happening with Demi as it was with Leona Lewis, where the stuff right beneath the high notes is where it gets a little bit tense and scratchy and weird. And then as she goes to the high stuff, like, yeah, oh my gosh, she went to a G5. That's the easy one for her. And then when she comes back down, that can influence how the rest of her singing is and hopefully make the other stuff a little bit easier. That wasn't flat. She added some distortion. That wasn't flat. I'm listening to that again to make sure. No, it still rang. It was just distorted, so there were more notes. That was fine. Yeah, G5's not hard, dude. I like how at the end of that run, she kind of gets a little bit whiny. She gets, it's almost like she's turning her mouth into a horn. And that kind of helps you transition back into chest voice or find a nice balanced chest voice rather than something that's pulled or too light. This uploader. Yeah. Yeah, she's always kind of confused me because she's brilliant with her agility. And usually if you're able to do that kind of stuff, it shows that you're doing everything else super, super well. But for most of the recordings that I've heard of her, when she goes up to those really high belty notes, she's just pulling straight chest voice. And with her sort of skill in other parts of the voice, it surprises me that she doesn't choose an easier option, which would be to narrow the vowel slightly, allow the feeling to move up into your head, and just hold on to the same amount of resistance that she had down low. What she did instead was she found the vowel that worked for low notes, and then as it went higher, in order to keep that feeling, she has to open her mouth more and more and bear down more and more on her vocal folds, and it just gets to a point where it's not sustainable. Both acoustically it's not sustainable, and at the level of air and muscle it's not sustainable. And that's why you hear that little that's coming in, that distortion that she's not choosing, because there are so many times that she does healthy distortion. I've never understood it with her, why she's made that choice, because I feel like the other way would be so much easier and it would be so much more consistent. Like sometimes I bet when she goes up there she doesn't know if she's going to be flat or not, because it depends on things out of her control, like what her level of inflammation is that day and how stretchy she is and her hydration level, and just things that are, like, I guess in her control, but not as reliable as just making a small change in your vocal technique. Yeah, and she should. Who cares? I am going to defend her for lip syncing that, because who cares? When you are at that performance, it's fine. She doesn't need to do everything completely live. We are at a time of music where it's completely acceptable to use samples and to do other things that are not live elements and bring them in and make it part of the live performance. This is so much better a choice for her right now if she's going out night after night, because the way that she was singing it before, the 10 years before, is not sustainable. I don't know if she has changed her technique for how she sings that high stuff, but I think that we should just give Christina a break and let her lip sync for once. Like, this is completely fine. It sounds great. It's a better performance. What's wrong with that? Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. Share with your friends if you think that they'd learn anything from this. Leave a comment below of anything that you learned or completely hated about this video. I'd just love to know what you guys are thinking. Thank you.